Salutations, YouTube. Friar Chuck here, and we have got another episode of Red Sox franchise here on MLB The Show 25. So, last episode was a simming jump in type episode, and at the end of it, we finished 17 and 14, and we were in a surprisingly tough division race. Yankees 20 and 10, they were good as expected. Orioles 17 and 13. We're 17 and 14. The Rays are 16 and 13, and the Blue Jays are 15 and 15. So if we go look at the games that we have played so far, so we've got swept by Tampa Bay. So that's 3 losses there that we've had to deal with. We lost two out of 3 to Baltimore. Toronto, we've actually won 4 out of the 5 games we've played them, and we have a series coming up with that we've got 2 more games left in. So that is going to be pretty big here early on. Obviously, it's early, and we've played 31 games. Really doesn't matter a whole lot. The standings this is the end of April. So, yeah. Anyway, let's look at our games for today. Alright, so we are going to be taking on the Toronto Blue Jays at Toronto. I'm celebrating Canada Day. I will have them wear their City Connects though, because those are fire. I think now's a good time to just pull out the whites. What is the difference? Oh, the hat. No, I don't understand what the difference is between home and alternate 2, but we'll go with this. We're our home uni at the Rogers Center, opened in 1989. One of the first artificial turf stadiums in the majors, and it was really goofy for a while. And here you can see how our starting pitchers are stacking up. Tanner Houck, who is going to be on the mound today, 1-0 with a 3.38 ERA. Cutter Crawford, 3-2, but he does have a 2.31 ERA, so that's very good. Patrick Sandoval, who we only called up to the majors to be a lefty, he is 0-4 with a 6.46 ERA, so he may end up getting sent down. What are his? He's only got 1 minor league option left, so got to make sure we mean that shit when we send him. Of course, Lucas Giolito is also an option to just swap him around, and we may do that. Brayan Bella's been good, the youngster. Garrett Crochet is obviously on a Cy Young caliber pace, 5-1 with a 1.88 ERA. Big strikeout numbers too. But Hawk is the guy on the mound for us. Okay, what the hell have they done to my lineup? Why is JD Martinez leading off? Jarren Duran is hurt. That's fine. He's pulled groin, so he's not going to play. I'm okay with that, but JD Martinez is not a leadoff guy. We will do this. Masataka Yoshida's actually gone cold now, which is unfortunate. He's down to 284. Rafael Devers is still on fire. Connor Wong has been playing better as of late. Rafael is cold. Luckily for us, most of our guys aren't too bad in the batting average department. Hamilton has not been great in that regard. Bregman's been really bad. We've got to get him going. Especially considering what he's making. But Costas batting 280, that's good, because he's got a guy that I kind of worried about getting going. But there we see our lineup. The Blue Jays, Andres Gimenez, Nathan Lukes, Vladdy Jr., Anthony Santander, Bo Bichette, Ernie Clement, Will Wagner, Alejandro Kirk, and Dalton Varsho. several guys in there that are real cold. Unfortunately, Vladdy Jr. is hot. He's kind of an interesting player. Not a lot of natural power, I don't think. Definitely not as much as his dad. But he seems like a guy that would. But he's got a really good swing, and he gets on, good contact hitter. I like how they're highlighting a guy that's got a sub 200 batting average.
First pitch coming at you right after the break. So just about set now.
Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are a team that I really see as kind of being in a similar place to the Red Sox in real life, anyway. The only difference being the Red Sox, I think, are on the way up, whereas the Blue Jays are kind of on the way down. The Red Sox are actively bringing in big name guys, and the Blue Jays can't decide if they want to send theirs out or not. Vladdy Jr. seems like he's been on the trade block for the last 2 or 3 years. That would have rolled to the wall. We would have taken 2, but that's fantastic. Bregman gets started early for us. I also adjusted the camera because I cannot hit, so I was hoping changing the camera will maybe change that up a little bit. So we take one there. Devers, of course, having a fantastic year. We're going to send Bregman around to third, and he will slide in. Nice bit of hitting by Devers as he will advance a runner. First to third. Triston Casas, the first baseman, up now.
It's just fun turning on a pitch like he did right there.
Triston Casas swings through.
Not a pitch I should have swung at. Could have been called a strike possibly, but
hit on the ground might be 2. Spin throw, that's 1. Relay to Guerrero in time.
And we ground into the double play. Unfortunate. Casas, of course, is not going to beat anything out. But we do get 2 hits, so we give him something to think about.
It's unique these days, but he's more of a pitch to contact type of guy.
Yeah, Boogie doesn't rely too heavily on the strikeout. He knows he needs to miss barrels, get some soft contact, let the defense do work behind him. And I think a guy like that can keep a good tempo.
What is his name? Old dude that used to play for the Astros. Springer. Is it George Springer? Is that who it was? Anyway. He's not in the lineup for them today.
That one in the dirt. 2-1. How? With some less than fantastic work on the hill lately. That one misses in the dirt.
It's seeming like some of these guys are leaving the Astros and not seeing a ton of success other places. I hope that's not the case for Bregman with us. But, Springer, I think, has been okay for Toronto, but they haven't really been very good. And then Carlos Correa, I don't think has been real productive in Minnesota.
The numbers tell us this is an offense designed to swing it. They're not going to force a ton of action on the bases, and so obviously that is one of the focal points that we'll look at.
And you look at the quality of the at-bats because of the fact that the legs aren't a part of this game.
Got a hard breaking sweeper.
Look for long pitch counts, grinding out at-bats, and really barrels to the baseball because it's a lot easier to jog around the bases than for these players to sprint.
That one sizzling on its way through.
I just realized we've got JD Martinez out in the field. I don't really have a choice because I would like Yoshida in the lineup. It's crazy how far we've come.
Edge of the zone for a strike. 0-1. Vladdy with another scorching run of play lately. Next offer in there for a strike.
And with Duran hurt.
We've gotten used to seeing him put together impressive stretches throughout his career, Boo.
And we get Vladdy swinging
Well, that at bat seemed to be over as soon as it started. 3-pitch strikeout. You've got to be better at the plate right there, at least to foul something off, extend that at bat.
Anthony Santander at the plate. 4th right now on the American League home run leaderboard. In there at the knees.
If Guerrero was to come up in free agency for us, that's somebody that I would
This one in
definitely be interested in. I know we have a first baseman, but he's the type of guy that you fit into a lineup. You find room for.
2-1 in the dirt.
And Costas is not irreplaceable. That could be an opportunity where, okay, we say, maybe we can grab Vladdy in free agency, and then
in the dirt, but kept close. Throw to second, not in time. He's there easily.
Runner advances on the wild pitch.
Allows the runner to advance.
After this game, we got to get a better catcher.
Foul ball, and it remains a full count. Man on second, 2 down. Swing and a high fly ball to left. Martinez has a beat up.
Martinez out to get it, and
Blue Jays held in check.
down go the Blue Jays in the bottom half of the first inning. Up to bat now, Masataka Yoshida.
Masataka Yoshida popped up. Bichette settles under this
Guy that could be included in a possible trade for a catcher.
Good hard fastball up in the zone right there. They look really good.
If I could do maybe like a Blake Sabol and Yoshida for a catcher or something like that.
And first offering is fouled off.
Able to work out of a little bit of a jam in that first inning.
Makes me wish we still had Kyle Teal, but I'm not going to complain because of how good Crochet's been. So
1 down, base is empty. Swings and misses.
maybe if they could have done
below the zone.
like Marcelo Mayer instead of Kyle Teal.
On a line, base hit.
So I don't know how big into baseball stuff y'all are, but the Rogers Center here for Toronto, the turf used to be turf other than squares around each base and the pitcher's mound and home plate. All the base paths were grass. They were turf. And then they had dirt the rest of the way. And I think Major League Baseball finally told them they needed to fix that.
And a ground ball to first, and it's through for a hit.
Wilyer Abreu is going to manage to get that past a diving Guerrero and a diving Lukes. Okay, I wasn't sure who played second base for them. And, Connor Wong is going to reach first. Well struck ball by Cedane Rafaela. And that's Wong has got enough speed. I think he'll score from home. Martinez across, Wong across. 2-run double for Cedane Rafaela. And the Red Sox take a 2-0 lead up here in the north.
And he hit the ball on the screws.
Jimenez whips it to first. They limit the damage here. But they'll pick up a couple runs here. Both come.
Bye.
On this
So I'm playing on my own with the Nationals, and I lowered my hit difficulty down. Literally because I couldn't hit anything. I lowered it down to rookie because I was like, it's the Nationals. I'm going to be at least get a little something while I'm here. But for this series, we definitely need to be on. We definitely need to be on veteran, not rookie.
Pretty much by the book with his strike zone.
And because he's so by the book, you'll sometimes see pitchers questioning him. They'll make a good pitch on the edge of the zone, want the strike, and not get the call. But most of the time, Jerry gets it right. He's a good one.
4 straight balls there by Hawk and
that sequence, 4 pitches for the walk, and that last one.
Bo Bichette will reach.
Might want to go talk to him.
And here is
I can't pitch right now either.
in the dirt.
5 straight bad pitch. Actually, he swung at that. Okay.
Tap tapped at the plate, but it's a foul ball.
We'll take it, I guess.
Bichette aboard here at first with nobody out. Check swing on an 0-2.
They're saying he went strikeout for Ernie Clement.
It's a strikeout.
Or Clement.
Pretty quick work of him right there. You look at the sequence.
So his rough start to the season continues.
Some guys are good low ball hitters,
But if he's going to swing at something that was down in the dirt, and only one of those pitches was in the strike zone.
Next is the
And
designated
he swung at all of them.
Will Wagner. One ball, no strikes. Squirts away a little bit.
Seriously. I mean, am I crazy? Are these pitches worse than I'm thinking they are?
That one fouled off. Man at first, one away. The 1-1 is fouled off.
I need to do a look at, like, I don't know who the highest overall catcher is in the league. It might be
Ground ball,
nice play by Devers.
2 away down.
Went ahead and just went for the out at first. That was going to be a tough
Here's
turn.
the catcher, Alejandro Kirk. In the dirt, blocked. Tag, safe.
You're kidding me. How is he safe? See, that's the other thing that's pissing me off, too, is there's no urgency when he drops these pitches.
Enough to move to third. You have to be sure you can make it because you're already in scoring position. Well, he was sure there, and now he's only 90 feet away from scoring.
Devers just made a bad tag is what that was. The ball was there in time.
And he takes a strike. 1-1. Swing and a miss. And a count 1-2. 2 outs and a runner at third here in the second game of the series. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. On the ground to the left. And foul ball. Swing and a high fly
Ball is popped up to shallow left field, and JD Martinez is under it. Once again, in the inning.
Here at the ballpark, let's check out the latest news from around the league.
Aaron Judge apparently on an 18-game hitting streak. Alex Bregman back up now. Got a hit in his last at bat. Of course, the
foul back, and that's out of play.
hitting was a little bit lower.
All-star. He features a 4-seam fastball, a splitter, a slider, and he works in a sinker. Swing and a ground ball base hit right field.
And he's going to manage to get that one through, too. Just early, but he does enough. 2 for 2 today for Bregman, so maybe he needs to be hitting in the 2-hole instead of, I think he's at 5. You're fucking kidding me. Devers hits that ball hard. Unfortunately, it's right to the first baseman, who is able to immediately apply the tag to Bregman.
And that one misses up and in. And it's 1-0.
Ball 1 to Casas, who has not been very good against Kevin Gausman in his career. 2 for 13, and I think he said like 5 Ks or something.
A little out front there as he
and that ain't gonna help.
1-1.
Early on that.
Ripped to short. Handles, throws to first, and that is the.
Thought there was solid contact on that, but we can't get it down, and so we go back out on defense.
That misses the zone. Ball 1.
Saying back out on defense sounds so weird in baseball. Like, it's technically not incorrect,
Just
but
off the inside edge.
he's giving me nothing here. Catcher's insistent on us throwing a sweeper.
That one's in there.
We hang that one over the middle. Not a good place for that pitch.
And a swing and a miss there.
This guy's got such a good sinker. As a hitter, you've got to look up.
Hawk has got some goofy pitches.
Chasing stuff in the dirt.
He's got that sweeper, a sinker, a cutter, and a...
Ground ball up the middle. Bregman.
Bregman tracks that down, but has to make a full stop before he throws it, apparently. See, if that was me, I would have gotten tracked down. And I mean, like, He's not slow. I think this is Varsho. He's got 73 speed, so
Empty, that's strike two.
Well, the hitter shows
it's
the
not
pitcher
terrible,
he's
but
willing to
come on.
after that pitch down in the zone. So perhaps he'll come back to it. Still try to get that ground ball double play.
Garrett Crochet actually third in the American League right now
Fouls it back with 2 strikes.
in batting average. Zach Elfin second, and Framber Valdez of the Astros is first. He is first in strikeouts, however.
1-2 in the dirt.
If that pace continues, that should be a MVP type year for
Fouls it off,
him.
still 1-2. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. To first, maybe a 2-ball. Casas takes it to the
I wanted
bag.
to go to second
Long
first.
battle at the
I
plate,
even
but
hit
they
the button.
still managed to get the out. So digging in, Nathan Lucas.
That's so irritating. We had him doubled up.
That's in there for strike 1. 1 out and a runner at second.
I swear to you, I hit the Y button.
On the ground to third, Devers.
Devers makes
Slings
another
to
good play
first
on the
in
ball.
time.
And there's 2 down for the Blue Jays.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now.
That should have been it
Struck
right
out
there.
on just 3 pitches last time.
I gotta face Vladdy.
And a foul
Vladdy
ball.
J.
Well, Chris, through the early stages, he hasn't been very efficient in terms of
And
the
he's been
pitch
hitting the
count.
crap out of
He's
the ball
gonna need
lately,
to get
so.
some quick outs if he's going to get deeper into this game.
Cutter outside.
It is interesting, though,
1 ball, 1
when
strike.
you consider the way the game is run now, doesn't even matter that much if your starter doesn't go that
Really
deep
don't know how I
because
feel about
teams
leaving
are
a pitch
really
there, but-
aggressively building their bullpens. Runner at second, 2 down. Got him. That K is his 3rd of the game.
Brings him up. All right.
As we go
Through
to
with
the
that
top of
guy.
the 4th. So stepping in for Boston, Masataka Yoshida.
Back up to the plate now is Masataka Yoshida. Trying to get him out of his cold spell.
1-0.
Thinking about your
Bregman looks like he's out of
He'll be
his.
the biggest player when he's on the field, but that doesn't mean he can't hit.
Guaranteed at
Gets
least
on
2
base
hits in the
and
game.
Doesn't strike out very often. That
And
confidence
nope.
makes you a valuable asset to your club.
Oh, he gloves it.
There's no exit velo on that.
Stands in. 1 for 1.
Hits it a little bit harder, it gets down.
So
And
far.
Yoshida's hit a lot of those this season, but
In the air, pretty deep out to center
good content.
field.
And it's just a pop-up. Oh my gosh.
He's got it, and there's 2 away. 2 down, bases empty.
I don't think it's just
And
me.
next
I
for
think
Red Sox,
I don't think
Wilyer
anybody
Abreu.
can hit real well in this game this year. I don't know what the deal is, but
Swing and a fly
that's well
ball
hit by
struck
Hamilton,
left field.
and it's not going to get down.
Santander brings it in, and that bottom of the inning.
Three up, 3 down.
Anthony Santander,
We held a 2-0 lead, but for how long?
and that is out of
We'll
play.
find out. Anthony Santander
Well,
up.
these Jays, just lacking
He's also
discipline
tough
at the
out,
plate
good
this
power.
morning. So many of their outs have come from weak contact on pitches they're chasing outside of the strike zone. You can't do much of anything with those locations, and that's been true again today. And as a pitcher, when the hitters are swinging at everything, you feel no need to challenge inside the zone. You just keep working the corners and expanding that strike zone and beyond, and they just keep eating right out of your hand.
Devers makes the catch, and there's 1 down. Bo Bichette next up for the Blue Jays.
Hawk low on energy despite only being a 60.
Swing and a miss. That's
See
the
him making
sweeper.
more than
No
5
ball, 1
innings.
strike.
Well, I think the key, if he can get through 1 more inning, anything after that, a hitter or 2 is bonus, but they should be lined up good enough to get to the finish line.
Red Sox by 2. That's to third, and that chance handled. Already 2 gone here in the home 4th. So up next for Toronto, Ernie Clement.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air, lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
And it looks like trouble. Around first and hustling for second. The relay into second, and he's got it double.
Went up there looking to be aggressive. And
Just a
got
matter.
some-
He hit it to the wall, and he has decent speed. It's not much more we can do about it.
Smoking it down the line, and There's no one playing there, so once it drops in
Nice
fair,
placement
you're
there.
on your way to extra bases.
A 1 count.
To the right side.
Costas gloves that, steps on the bag. And that'll do it for the 4th inning.
Welcome back. Quite a pitcher's duel so far. Here's how the starters
Blue Jays giving up
performed
6
to
hits.
this
We've
point.
given up 3. Wong, one of the 6 hits that
Back to work.
they've given up.
Swing and a ground
And
ball
there's
to the
going to
middle.
be
That's a
number
base
2.
hit. So a runner aboard to
Just
start
sneaks it by the
inning.
second baseman.
Wastes no time there. Really nice job staying up the middle with his approach. He didn't try to
Runner
do
on
too
first
much
to
with
start
pitch,
the
just shot it through the infield.
Inning. Last time
And stepping in for
Rafael was at
Boston,
bat, he
Cedar Rafaela. Swings
a
and
2-run
hits
double.
one in the
That's
air
not
out
enough,
towards
though.
right field. Lucas makes
I'm
the
so,
grab
even
one
just
down.
late, I feel like that should be doing more. Which he doesn't hit real well against
Back to the
righties, I
top
don't
of the
think.
lineup
So
at the plate, David Hamilton.
still not bad.
2
But
in this one.
all right,
The other way.
good on that. That doesn't get down.
Pulls it down and there's 2 gone.
I seriously don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Is everything just supposed to be completely perfect?
Here's Alex Bregman. He's 2 for 2.
Beyond having people that all have 99 contact
Lifted in
versus
the air,
everything.
left field.
Good in that for Bregman, and it's just going to be a pop-up, I have a feeling. Yep. Fly out to the warning track. It's,
And we're back.
I'd be more irritated if I didn't have a lead, but it irritates me because the lead came with I got it having
Top of the fifth.
rookie
And now the
hitting on
catcher
and
comes
not
up to him.
veteran.
Alejandro Kirk. In the air, left field, down the line. And a foul.
I guess I could justify putting it on veteran, and then I'm nerfing myself anyway with my inability to,
And he's a native of Mexico. Next offering is in for a strike.
see the ball. But
Ground ball, Casas. He'll do it
why he
himself.
started that way.
And that's the first out in the bottom of the 5th.
But that'll do it.
Next to hit,
For the first batter.
Varsho. Reached on an infield single his first time. And there's a foul ball.
Splitter is in for a strike,
1 down.
which Wong did not catch.
And a foul ball.
I think he didn't catch it. It might have been foul.
Here's the 0-2.
I didn't really see that.
And a foul ball, he stays alive. Just missed.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
And the next pitch is way outside.
Varsho.
Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again.
She fouled that away.
Red Sox leading it by 2. And
That one's well hit.
ranging
But I
back.
think Rafael is going to be able to track it down. He does.
Pulls it in
On the warning track, out number 2.
Here's Andres Jimenez. First pitch, and he just misses.
This is definitely the last inning for Hawk. I'd like him to be able to get through it,
On the
but
ground at first. He takes
it looks
after
like
the
he
bag,
will.
and
So
that'll do it.
5 innings of shutout
Welcome back to the ball.
ball for Hawk. It doesn't really matter either way. I guess we'll go left.
Ballpark. Top of the 6th inning. Here's the
Gosman's still in the game. He's only thrown 28 pitches. We're up 2-0.
There's a swing and a drive.
Pretty well hit by Devers. That's foul.
Wall, but foul. Devers with some
Devers tied for the team lead in home runs with 6.
Swing and a miss.
Swung.
Don't stick at the major league level unless you can string
Swung
together
through that.
consistently solid performances. Right now, he's showing us
That one
why
is
he's
low and
supposed to be in
inside.
the big leagues.
Ball number 1. Got a 1-2 count here. Really looking for Devers to get a hold of one here.
Comes up
And
empty as he
that's
chases
not it.
that one in the dirt.
I'm bad.
Beat Beats him for the first out, and that completes the strikeout.
Boog, if you can set up a good two-strike splitter with a fastball on the previous pitch, it's going to be so tough to recognize and adjust your swing to get a piece of it. Clearly had him reaching for it right there.
And now, Tristan Casas. First offering, and it just misses.
Tough pitch. We get the call, though. Ball 1.
Check swing.
Held up there, 2-0.
Pretty frugal guy. He is very efficient.
Not going to get too many more of those.
Strike 1.
Well, he came right at him right there.
High fastball we were late on.
Not sure exactly what he was looking for, but
2-1 now.
Confidence booster on the mound.
I was late again.
Head a little bit.
Late swing, foul to the left.
Telling you, my plate vision is atrocious.
Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
Up 2-0 and then ended up striking out.
And your interpretation is here comes a fastball again.
Yoshida still looking for his first hit today.
Out of it and you swing over the top. And that's why they call it a split finger fastball, because it looks like a
perfect. That'll do it.
This one deep to left center. This one could be trouble.
Line drive.
First heading for 2.
The left center gap, and Yoshida is on base with a double.
Everything came together for him. I love the approach he had right there with that pitch. Not trying to do too much.
Would have loved if that could have been a little bit more, but we'll take it.
That's exactly what he's able to do into the opposite field gap for the double.
That'll do it. JD Martinez with a no-doubter. 387 feet into the Blue Jays bullpen, where they do have some dudes working.
And they boost their lead. It's 4-0. Chris, he's homered in back-to-back games now.
Yep, seeing the ball well, and he's got his time.
The veteran making his presence felt here.
New pitcher now, Ryan Burr.
And they are going to pull Gausman here, bring in Ryan Burr. Good versus righties, lefties not so much. Has a good ERA on the year. So I don't know why they brought him in to face Wilyer Abreu, honestly. 91 clutch rating for JD Martinez. That's well hit, but it is going to be.
No trouble here, puts it away for the out. And that is that.
Should have known.
For Boston on the home run. It's now a 4-0
but Martinez gets adds on to our lead.
Back now for the bottom of the 6th.
Brennan Bernardino is going to come in for us now. He has been excellent for us. ERA under 1. Has been equally good against righties and lefties. Is technically one of our setup men, but
up for the 3rd time here, watches that one miss.
When you want a guy to get you some outs, you want some outs. I don't know how long he'll pitch. He may just get an inning.
Next offering is fouled back.
Using him to get through, if I could use him to get through the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, which is essentially what I'm doing here, as he strikes out Lukes.
Definitely made him chase a little bit out of his zone right there. I don't think that's a strike if he takes it. Pretty textbook pitching. Get ahead in the count, get the guy in the box on his heels, and then force him to chase your pitch where he doesn't have much of a chance to do any damage.
Curveball in on Guerrero. And that is going to be strike 1.
Swinging a foul.
That'll be foul.
Right, and that will get out of
play. Too worried about that.
One down,
a little sinker, middle outside. I think that went exactly where I wanted it to, and yeah, just about. Guerrero fouls it off.
And a curve is down and in.
That one is outside.
Kind of expects that.
Ball 1.
Just showing that confidence and trying to get back into this count.
On the ground.
He probably would have had better success if he just stood there. I mean that in all seriousness. I think it would have hit him. See how far inside. Look how far low and inside that was. What was he doing? Worse than me. And Bernardino's going to give up a hit here to Anthony Santander. It's a tough part of their lineup. And this is a team that's 15-15, so they're not, you know, There aren't any scrubs.
It's gonna find some holes. Could be a chance here for them to start clawing back into this ball game.
Now that being said, 4 of their losses are to us.
Really thriving with the bat this season here at home.
Well, usually a high level of confidence when you're facing a young pitcher out there on the mound. In this situation,
that's a hit. Santander.
Keena's going home.
Throw is offline, and he scores.
Throw was a little off. Thought I might get the runner at home, but Bernardino is going to give up the run here.
In the dirt. Bichette leads off.
I do seriously need to go look around the league at the catchers and see what the fielding is. Like, maybe I'm just being dramatic, but it feels like we are dropping an excessive number of pitches. It's like everything he's having to just corral. I can't be that far off. And he's not blocking anything.
So far, here in the bottom of the 6th. Drilled out towards left center field. That's well.
Rafaela can't get there in time. I think that's gonna bring it. Yep, that's gonna bring it within 2.
well done, drives in the run. Pretty much
So Clement breaks his slump a little bit. Gets the RBI double to make it 4-2. Oh, God. Tired of these friggin' animations at the very least.
2 outs and 1 in scoring position.
In
the dirt. Clement up to third. Have to be really sure you can make it safely to third.
This game is starting to be really frustrating.
Gotta get that run across, very important.
I really think that the button inputs are delayed.
Now just 90 feet away.
Because there's no way that was so far freaking off. Either my controller is screwed up, or they've got their button inputs lagging. I know the pitcher's getting tired. Get through this inning. Okay. Got through the inning, got the strikeout. Unfortunately, we screwed up Bernardino's ERA a little bit, but it's okay. That's going to be his only bit of work today. We will send in Greg Weissert to take on probably hopefully the next 2 innings worth of batters.
Swing and a ball popped in the air.
Late on that, but Wong is going to get it down.
And it gets by him. And he's into second with nobody out.
And misfielding out there is going to allow him to get to second. So we've got a runner in scoring position. And I'm glad they scored it that way. Single E9. Give him credit for his base that he earned. And then the one that he stole.
That's a base hit.
Luckily, Wong happened to be running because he's at third.
Runners at the corners, nobody out.
Making that.
The shortstop, David Hamilton. 0 for 3 in this one. Burr throws over.
I'm going to try and steal second to eliminate the double play here for Hamilton. Keep him out of a little bit of trouble.
Runner on the go. Pitch in for a strike.
Strike, and we are in safely. So runners at first and second. So Rafaela is 7th stolen base of the season. He's not super fast. And usually I only tend to steal if their speed's at least in the mid to high. Yeah. Got a little greedy there, but he really came pretty close. That really wasn't even me necessarily being greedy. I just held the button too long, but it was a mistake either way. And Bregman's going to get another base hit. That's a shame because if Hamilton would have been at second, we probably would have scored on that too. Because he was fast enough to get around there. That wasn't as far in as I thought it would. Or as I thought it was. But we wouldn't have done anything with that anyway.
And it's fouled away. Bregman, the base runner at first with 1 out. one gets past the catcher.
Bregman's going to go for second, and they will let him take it. So double play ball eliminated again.
Scored position on the wild pitch, and there goes the double play possibility. Just misses with that one.
Low for ball number 2. A lot of borderline stuff here. Of course, I was probably better hitting with Devers before
2-2 down.
Bregman was on second, but
Stays alive.
I was late on that, I think.
One out and a runner at second.
No, actually, that was good.
Top of inning number
Okay.
7.
So do something with it besides fouling it off.
Not close with that one.
Outside. We've worked a full count here. I would rather Devers be able to clear the...
High fly
That one was hit really high
Santander
to
moves
left
back
field.
and it is
Gone!
hit.
340 feet the opposite way. Home run number 7 for Rafael Devers. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he got all of it because it only, first of all, it only had a 94 mile per hour exit velo. 2, he barely got it over the fence. 3, he hit it the opposite way.
To get it out of here, but it had just enough behind it for the homer. What an attempt at the wall, though. He really gave a terrific effort to try and bring that one back.
Here comes the manager out of the Blue Jays dugout, and he will make
And that is going to chase
Brian Burr will depart and
Burr from the game.
Step aside for a minute. Back with the new pitcher after this break.
Love to see us going through pitchers here. That's probably the best inning we've had as far as contact and battling and and Eric Swanson comes in and gives us a pitch to just send it out of here, but
Base is empty. And strike 2.
then I was trying to make up for it with that one.
Fights that one away.
So we have an 8-2 lead now.
That wasn't an easy pitch to hit. It's
Part of me kind of wants to send in Lucas Giolito.
but that's not what that pitch was.
It's a little late in the well, not really.
And the count 1-2. 4 runs already in the frame. All Red Sox in this one. Way up
Just
step.
to yeah, I'm gonna warm him up.
Now 2-2.
Just to get maybe a three inning save. Yeah, Giolito will come in. That should have been ball 3. I was really late on it too. That's ball 3. Slider outside. That home run gave Devers the team lead officially.
Ground ball, Vlad Jr.
That's grounded to third.
Takes it to the bag. Steps
Easy
on first,
money
and it's
there.
out number 2.
Casas
2
is
down,
retired.
bases empty.
Masataka Yoshida
Down goes the Red Sox
back up
DH.
now.
Masataka
He had a
Yoshida.
double his last plate appearance.
And first
Hopefully
offering
breaking
is
him out of
fouled
his
off.
slump. I will say I was bound and determined when the season before the season that I was going to trade him, but
And it drops in.
so I'm thinking the deal is with him. He has his plate vision is like an 89. I think that's why he's able to hit garbage like that.
Part of the bat just kind of muscled it out there, and you know, on the mound, it can
JD
be
Martinez
frustrating
back up
for a
to
pitcher,
back
but
up to
you
the
just
plate
kinda have
now.
to expect those to drop in
Last
sometimes.
time he hit a 2-run shot.
Outs.
This time he does have the chance to do it again.
This one in the air, center
That one's
field.
well struck, but the center fielder's not going to move at all.
Right there to make the grab.
And that will do it. And so Lucas Giolito comes into the game.
Bottom of the 7th, Lucas Giolito.
Giolito obviously is primarily a starter, but he's in our bullpen. I think there's a pretty strong chance we'll let Sandoval get one more start and we'll see how it goes. And if it is just
And that misses.
atrocious,
And
then we may send Sandoval to the bullpen and move Giolito back into the starting lineup. Literally the only reason I moved him out of AAA was because he was left-handed. That was the only reason. I was fine with Giolito being the other starter, but
Andres Gimenez next up for the Blue Jays.
He's what it is. We get a quick 2 outs with Giolito, though. Now we're down 1-0 to Andres Gimenez, former Cleveland Guardian. Hamilton tries to, yeah. That's a tough play to make. Jimenez has got decent enough speed.
You gotta love it, but it just wasn't in time. Still a really impressive play just to get to that ball and make it close at first. And not every shortstop can even make that
Jimenez was
play.
with the...
And that's in there for a strike, and now it's even.
Pretty sure he was with the Guardians. He was either with the Guardians or the Twins. I don't remember for sure who.
That's a good pitch there.
That's a tough pitch, but I've been getting stuff all game, so...
Up and in, just on the edge. And that's one of those, if you swing at it, you had a broken bat as you jog back to the dugout.
That one pushed to the left.
That is a foul ball over to
3-2, 2 out, runner on first.
over to the left. 3-2 count now.
Focused on the pitch.
We get him. Giolito strikes out Bo Bichette. I think that's who that is.
Still 8-2.
And we take an 8-2 lead into the top of the 8th inning. Final beers have been consumed. Final beers have been purchased. And Wilyer Abreu is, God. Abreu has had terrible luck this game. He's hit so many balls well. He just can't get any of them down. Meanwhile, Connor Wong has reached on absolute garbage. See, like, he's not going to reach there. But if that one would have got past the third baseman, same thing. Rafaela is up now. 2 for 3 today with a 2 RBI double. I think he came around to score last time. Swanson is splits against lefties have not been very good. I think we've contributed to that. Back up the middle, off his hand, and Rafael is going to be able to get in safe. Little infield hit courtesy of the pitcher's glove. I think that popped him on the wrist a little bit there. David Hamilton up to the plate now. That was a perfect, and I was delayed on that too. Off the wall. We're going for 3. We've got it. David Hamilton, RBI triple off of the wall. See, that one, okay, we got the perfect. I'm okay with that outcome. Because there are some parks that would have gotten out of. I think in Boston that probably would have been a home run. But it's perfect. He's not a big-time power swinger. So he's only got 46 power versus right. So for that to be the outcome, I'm okay with that.
It's 0-1. Breaking ball through there for a strike.
I don't know what I didn't like about that one, but something evidently. And that's okay. Good. Held up on that one at least. 31,000 in attendance here at Rogers Center. I imagine they're starting to... Oh, I didn't go around. Thought I managed to hold up. Well, Bregman is 3 for 5 today. So that is exactly what the doctor ordered to get him back to his usual ways. Wilyer Abreu's had absolutely atrocious luck in the batter's box. Connor Wong's gotten very lucky.
Right through there for a strike. Giolito, a 6'6" righty. He features a four-seam fastball, a changeup, a slider, and he occasionally uses a curve. Hard grounder into
We can't get to that. And Anthony Santander is going to reach once again. Santander started the little mini rally they had in Bernardino's inning. That was not Bo Bichette in the last inning. My bad.
Squirts away a little bit. ball right side could be 2. Feed to second, that's 1. Over to first.
That is a surprisingly tough turn. But we got the lead runner, and that honestly matters more to me. That was a really, really bad pitch. And Hamilton is going to put it away for out number 3. Joe Mantiply coming into the game. He has not been very good this season, and I figure that's probably why they're bringing him in. Plus, he's a lefty to face Devers. So Mantiply, I believe, a former reliever with maybe the Rays. I don't know.
Appears to be getting loose. Bastardo getting cranked up as well.
Mantiply is a strange name to me. It sounds like a Pokemon. That's a decent pitch to hit. It really is. Devers is really not terrible against lefties. All things considered, that's if he was able to develop that, he'd probably be he is one of the best third basemen in the league anyway. I'm trying to think of players who are better off the top of my head. Does Gunnar Henderson play third base, or is he a shortstop? I don't know. We'll look around.
Tristan Casas up next for the Red Sox.
Tristan Casas is going to be able to get that one down, and we're not going anywhere. Even if that rolled to the wall, that would have been a tough ask for him. See, I feel like that should have done more, but whatever. Yoshida back up now. He is looking at a 2 for 4 today. So again, just it's crazy how much 2 hits will do for a guy. Help his average out a lot. Bregman the same way. So even Yoshida's contact versus left is 59, but his plate vision is an 89. I think that's got to help.
That one close, rule the ball. Gonna count 1 and 2.
And I imagine plate vision is also very helpful for CPU or for simulated games and stuff like that.
And it's fouled off. They'll do it again.
But this type of stuff he's hitting reminds me of Adrian Beltre a lot. Just in where pitches are located when he's hitting them. Beltre obviously had a lot more power. I figure probably one of the least hated players in Major League history. Because, like, how could you? And there's a third hit for him. Okay, so the perfect. The main issue I was having before with him is when we were getting them and they were hit right at the fielder. Like, and I don't know, maybe there's not a coding way to put in there that if it's perfect, it's not an out. So, I don't know.
Just missed.
Hold still on that one. Martinez, obviously, with a clutch rating of 91, power 84. And that one nearly comes in and gets him. Really like Martinez to deal with this situation before Abreu gets up, but I also see them just walking him here. They do not.
Santander makes the grab. Runner tags at second. The tag gets it. It's a double play to end the...
I knew how slow he was.
Welcome back as we take a look at their upcoming schedule.
So the Blue Jays, they've got 1 more game against us, 3 against the Guardians, an off day, and then 2 against the Angels.
That one in there across the letters.
We are in the bottom of the 9th here. We have a 7-run lead. All 3 of the games that we've played the full thing of, we've managed to get good offense. Obviously, 2 of our runs were with the hitting being lowered down, but even without that, we'd still be up 7-2. So I'm not too worried about it. We saw really good things out of Hawk.
Where'd that last pitch miss?
You're...
One out, bases
What
empty.
on earth? Okay. Let me challenge that. That's
And that's in there for a strike,
terrible.
and now it's even.
To hit him in the face with one.
The 1-1
I know
foul.
strike zones are subjective, but the entire part of that ball was in the strike zone, so I don't know what the hell he's seeing. Kicks, delivers, foul
Fights that
ball.
one away, still 1-2.
Kirk's battling up here. Kirk's a pretty solid catcher. That's the kind of guy that, which I think we actually traded for Alejandro Kirk in
Right side.
Marlins franchise last year, so I probably wouldn't use him.
Two up, two
But
down. So they're down to their final out. Dalton Varsho getting ready.
as I know in that series, we desperately needed a catcher as well. Seemed to be in a constant state of just needing catchers,
Sizzling on its way through to the outfield.
which really kind of makes sense. I mean, it seems the league, at least in my remembrance of the league, there's always like a group of three really good. There will be like 2 or 3 really good catchers. You know, 3 or 4 really good catchers in there, and then a next tier down, and then you've got like your 3 or 4 elite guys, and then a group of 4 or 5 that are above average, and then everybody else.
The ball for his first career save deserves to be on display at his house. I mean, it's kind of like when a restaurant frames its first dollar.
And so we get to win. Lucas Giolito does in fact get the save, coming in and pitching the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Very low pressure save, but hey, we'll give him credit for it. Hawk, 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, no earned runs. No earned runs, obviously the most important stat. That and the win. Rafaela, 3 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. JD Martinez, 2 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBIs. David Hamilton had a triple and 3 RBIs. Rafael Devers with a home run and 2 RBIs. So, yeah, there's everything for us. Ernie Clement broke out of his slump, two doubles and an RBI. Santander had a double. Varsho with 2 singles, and Bo Bichette had an RBI. So, Danny is what he is. But we are 3-0 in games I've played. So, because we played this one, and I think we played this one. Yeah, because that was the home opener. And we've played this one. So 10-2, 7-1, and 9-2. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do now. Let's go around the league and look at people's catchers. So Connor Wong as the baseline, his fielding is a 51. I'm only going to look, okay, well, he's right on. Okay, so Austin Wells is an 82. Danny Jansen, 58, which he's more of an offensive-minded catcher. Kirk, who we just played, 92. So yes, it does exist. Man, they have Kyle Teel and they're not even using him. His fielding is a 76, though. We wouldn't be having these issues. Bo Naylor with the Guardians. Fielding is an 80. He's a guy I wouldn't mind having. His contact's a little off, but... Jake Rogers, 85. Salvador Perez, 53. Freddie Freeman, 84. Ryan Jeffers, 59. Yainer Diaz, 60. Logan O'Hoppe, 65. Travis Darnaud, 60, and he's gradually getting worse, so I'm glad we didn't trade for him. Shea Langoliers, his fielding is 49. Okay, it could be worse, but he's got a good bat. Cal Raleigh, his fielding is an 89, and he has 98 left-handed power. So you can have both. He must be having a bad year if his numbers are... He's batting 135. So Cal Raleigh so far, that's the peak. What's Jonah Heim? Hyman's got 73 fielding. I'd take that too. Higashioka has 72 fielding. He's going down too. Probably because he's not playing. Well, I don't know. He might be. Sean Murphy, 76. Nick Fortes, 75. Augustine Ramirez, 58. I'm pretty sure Nick Fortes was the catcher that we were trying to improve on last year with the Marlins. Francisco Alvarez was in the 80s, I believe. JT Realmuto, 60. Keeper Ruiz, 53. See what Tyler Stevenson's is. 51. Okay, so his is not great. Okay, William Contreras, I think is probably the best catcher in the game. His fielding is a 77. Joey Bart, 57. Ivan Herrera. But they also have Wilson Contreras, who I'm fairly certain he can play catcher. He was a catcher. Gabby Moreno's is an 80. I wouldn't mind getting him. Jacob Stallings. Will Smith. Actually, okay, Will Smith, I guess, is the highest rated catcher. This is only a 65. So the ability to field is not a precursor for you being halfway decent at playing catcher. Ethan Salas, the 18-year-old. I wouldn't mind trying to make a move for him, but like realistically, he is far and away their best prospect. So Patrick Bailey, he can field. He's got 99 fielding. You want Blake Sabol back? Adley Rutschman's is a 75. So, no, we are below average for starting catchers. Wong's... Even... no, Sable's is... It's really not much better. Luis Garcia, the second baseman for the Nationals, is up here now. Let's just go team by team. Shane Baz, the 25-year-old pitching prospect, used loosely. Davis Schneider. Yeah, they don't have anybody that I want. Paul Sewell's not a bad reliever. Casey Mize is an interesting name. Whoa, he pitched like an inning and a third and gave up a ton. All right. Looking for potential deals. Again, Travis Darnell is here, but he's getting worse. We don't want him. Garver doesn't solve my issue. None of them can play catcher. Nope. And Luis Garcia up here for some reason. Jefferson Cuero is a prospect. He's actually up in the majors for Rockies, or for the whoever's they are. Brewers. Interested to see what it would take. Realistically, I don't think the Padres would actually trade Ethan Salas, barring because that's a guy. They got two 18-year-old prospects that I think they view very highly. Leotis DeVry is the other one. They need starting pitching, a catcher. Second base, shortstop, third base. Well, some of that I could help you with. I don't know really why they need a shortstop. Do you not? They have Xander Bogaerts, but I get he's cold. I don't have anything any better if that's what you want. We could pull this off. Get rid of Trevor Story's contract, which I need to do anyway. And then third base. A guy like him, and then second base. Oh, that's too expensive. Just a hair too expensive, but it's too expensive. You know, throw me someone that's making a few million that you don't need. Like Wandy Peralta. That's the perfect type of guy. See, in this trade, I'd probably have to throw in a pitcher. Somebody like a... Oh, wait, yeah, money. Forgot. All the guys I want to throw in are expensive. Some of these guys are moving the needle more than others. Do that though. I did Patrick Sandoval, but no Trevor Story. So do it then. That's absolutely insane. Mr. Butterworth. Like, who did I want? Peralta. I don't really want him. That was just for money purposes, but now we don't need to. So I feel like I should give them something else back. Something that they might actually want. Like another prospect of some kind. I don't know that I've really got anything. I mean, I'll be more than welcome to Blake Sabol, but like, it's crazy that the maybe I'm overvaluing Ethan. Let's go look here. I thought this would okay, Salas is the number 21 prospect in baseball. So no, I'm really not overselling him. They're just underselling him. See, what is the... Let's just look and see what offers we're getting for Sandoval before we... Orioles are offering a pitching prospect. Roansy Contreras, who's actually, I think who can be turned into a starter, I think, fairly easily. Dylan Lesko is one of their better pitching prospects. Noah Schultz, who is their top pitching prospect. Jason I think that's Jackson Churrio's brother. People are offering me Walker Jenkins, who's got A potential, and Brooks Lee, who has B potential. Like, obviously, yes, 100 times, yes, that's a hell of a trade. But that's not realistic. They're not making that trade. Able. Okay. That is the dumbest way to spell TJ I have ever seen. Capital T, no apostrophe or anything. Capital J, AYY. Only Casey's not a bad kid. He's a solid power bat. Some of the Reds pitching prospects. Charlie Condon, who's one of their top prospects. Adele Amador, who's another one of their top prospects. What the hell do y'all need Patrick Sandoval for? And how can you afford him? See, he's only making like... So, obviously Ethan Salas is not that crazy of a get because of this trade that exists for some reason. So I'm pretty sure Walker Jenkins is their top prospect. And he's probably pretty high up here on the... Well, he is the number 3 prospect in baseball. So... yeah. I don't want to be like overly trade hungry, but I do think we've got to make a difference at catcher. I'm not saying Connor Wong can't play, but what I am saying is his fielding is a problem. If I trade for Ethan Salas, is it really getting that much better? Yes, it is. It's a 19-point difference. The bat's not quite there, but he's also only 18, and I'm not calling him up yet. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to try and be too trade heavy, but Patrick Sandoval has not been very good for us this year. And between him and Trevor Story, they make up money that I need to get rid of. So we are gonna... I'm gonna throw them something else too to make myself feel better. I don't really want to give up Quinn Priester, but I might have to. They need left fielder, don't you? Probably. They do. Badly. Why is that not listed as a need? I don't know. I'm not willing to give up Yoshida or Martinez, but I will give you Rob Refsnyder, Patrick Sandoval, and then we'll throw in... Everybody kind of wants to throw in Vaughn Grissom. Said they wanted a shortstop. I know, it like... Yes, in theory, what I'm doing is crazy. I'm giving them way more than what they are asking for Ethan Salas. And if I was just, this was completely unrealistic, I would have traded him for um, uh, Walker Jenkins and that other guy. But we're not doing that. Salas is the number 21 prospect in baseball, but he's 18. He's very unproven, and he doesn't help us right now technically anyway. So we'll get rid of Ref Snyder, who's not really playing a whole lot anyway. Sandoval, who's playing, but I'd rather wish he wasn't. We are able to cut some money, approximately $11 million going out. Let me give him a prospect. We'll give him Antonio Anderson. No. Screw it. It's my series. Patrick Sandoval and Rob Ref Snyder for Ethan Salas. Again, I know it seems crazy because we are getting more than we're giving up way more than what they required. But I'm trying to keep it semi-realistic. Okay. Now, let's see what comes up for Trevor Story, because I would like to get rid of him as well. Mostly just to rid us of his contract. I don't think. Yeah, we're not going to get the same kind of. It's fine. Carlos Stanton, good. Andrew Wantz is a bullpen guy. Guardians, Paul Sewald. Mitch Garver, Ryan De La Cruz, Phil Bickford, Scott Barlow, Xander, Stanton. I don't want Giancarlo Stanton. So the thing is, I got to find somebody that can't afford him first of all, and also wants a strong, shortstop. I said SS. They don't need one. They don't. The Rays do. Who else? Guardians do. Do they really? Yeah, they do. He would be an improvement for them, and they can afford him. Who you all got in the way of prospects? Austin Hedges, I believe, solves the fielding problem. Yeah, he's not very good, but he's on the. He actually has a. He was the Rangers' backup catcher when they won the World Series. They have an 88 overall relief pitcher that does not play. That's not a closer. Okay. Guardians are the best bullpen in the freaking league. Hey, God, a shit ton of pitchers, man. He was A potential last year and was better than that. Yeah, have the two worst shortstop salaries in baseball. So the Twins have a prospect that I don't think is in the game, but he's a knuckleball pitcher, and he hits like in the 90s. Oh no, not that high. He hits 80. He's hit 87 with his knuckleball before. This episode's gotten very long. I realize that. Corey Lewis is his name. He does not exist. Unless he's a reliever. He doesn't exist. Astros, no. They actually don't have anyone. The A's actually could, and while they do have players that I would be interested in, most specifically a guy like, I don't know, a Mason Miller, best closer in the league. Mariners don't have, Rangers definitely don't, and they really can't afford him. Braves actually, maybe. Morales don't make any sense. No. Way no. Brewers maybe. They definitely need a shortstop. I know they've got a reliever that I would definitely more than happily take. That I could probably get. And that would be the man known as Abner Uribe. Oh, actually, no. They value him highly enough that they won't just give him up. So I can't make these teams want my bad contracts. Gunnar Henderson plays shortstop for the record. I think it should be a contending team, and that's what kind of is leading me to somebody like the Brewers or the Braves. Because he would definitely help the Brewers. I know the player they have that I want, but I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, what about the Braves? I'm surprised the Braves have enough money that they could do this, but he would technically be an improvement. Chris Sale is still pitching. That is insane to me. Schwellenbach. He's been in the league long enough now that it's not even a prospect. And, like, what am I going to do with him? This guy's 26, so he hasn't been in the league very much though. Take him for Paul Sewald. And like another bullpen guy to take over. You know, to fill up that roster spot wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Anybody got 2 closers? No, so these people don't even have 1. Of course the Yankees or the Dodgers do. I had to check. I think I could sit on him longer, but what's the point? And getting out of his money is really the most important thing to me. Paul Sewald will be a decent bullpen arm. He's pitched in 10 games. Hadn't been amazing, but he's a free agent after this year, so I don't even have to re-sign him, and I probably wouldn't because he'll be 35. So, yeah, we'll make that trade. So, we end up making 2 trades to get rid of players that were not contributing like they should be. What have you been doing in AAA? You have played in 2 games. Done well enough, I guess. Buehler has started 6 games. He's 3-1 with a 2.23 ERA. So I've got 24. So yes, we'll move Buehler up. Paul Sewald's on the MLB team already. Salas, we're gonna go ahead and just promote to AAA. And then as far as infield depth goes, I may go ahead and he can only play second. He's been pretty good. Toro can play first and second. A decent contact versus lefties. So it's between Grissom. I really think Grissom will do better staying down. Burrow's really not an asset to me. Bringing up another reliever. How many relievers do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then my starters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I think I'll bring up Abraham Toro, and he'll be our. I gotta add him to the 40 man. Okay. All right. So we ended up making 2 roster moves there. It took a little while, but I was happy with the trades. Ethan Salas will gives us another prospect into what was already the 3rd-ranked farm system in Major League Baseball. That gives us another top 25 guy. And then the Paul Sewald deal will help because it gives us more bullpen depth. but also it gets rid of that awful contract that Trevor Story had. So, again, 2 good moves, I think. Only took us an hour and a half to get there, but I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed. This is Friar Chuck saying bye-bye.